Welcome to Small Town Whispers, where history, folklore, and the paranormal collide. I'm Bethany Yucuis Borden, and I lived in Watseka, Illinois from 1988 to 1999. For over a decade, I walked the same streets, saw the same houses, and even had friends connected to the story we're about to dive into. This isn't just history for me, it's personal. Welcome back to Small Town Whispers, everybody. I realized this week that next week is the last excerpt of this book. Yes, we'll have one final episode after that to break down the story versus the actual case. But I'm very bittersweet about it being over. Yeah, right now it's midnight and I'm recording this, and I'm not gonna miss that. But I am gonna miss the process. The connections I've made each week with people, whether they were reading a part or telling me a story. Today's no exception. Our Porchlight story comes from my friend Sarah, right here from Wilmington, and it does not disappoint. In fact, it goes very well with the excerpt that we are reading today. We are in the second of 3 episodes involving the seance at the Roth home. Last week, we heard from Emma, and she talked to her father, Dr. Stevens. This week, we have another special visitor, and then you're going to have to stay tuned for the conclusion. Stick around till the end of this episode, too, because Sarah is channeling some of her mom's stories through her and telling us some of her own, and you do not want to miss them. It definitely feels like the universe had a hand in the creation of this episode. You'll see what I mean after you listen to the excerpt and what happens through Larancy, and then find out what happened to Sarah at the Bellamy Mansion right here in Wilmington. Now let's get back to the book, Watseka, America's Most Extraordinary Case of Possession and Exorcism, on page 292. Dr. Stevens, Colonel Peters said, "You amaze me. I mean, when your daughter came in, you did it all so matter-of-factly, as if it is an everyday occurrence. Well, not precisely every day, but I've been in this field for many years now. Emma has come through mediums all over the country. She's a very powerful entity, and my judgment of a good seance is whether she makes an appearance or not. I would have been most disappointed had she not come through today, but I couldn't let her see her mother right now." "I'm glad," Anne said. "I would have hated to see Larancy leave right now." "She won't be here for much longer, Mrs. Roth. You had all better make up your minds to that fact. The Venom girl is almost completely healed. She will want to take control of her own body very, very soon." Larancy groaned again.
Oh. "Charlotte!"
a voice from inside her called.
"Charlotte, mein Liebchen!"
The housekeeper's eyes widened. "Ja?" she responded automatically to the German words.
"Wie geht es dir, mein Kind?"
"Gut!" Charlotte's eyes bore into Larancy's face, trying to see the face of another. "Wer bist du?"
"Deine Großmutter Stoner. Wie geht es dir?"
"Großmutter!" Then in English, to those in the circle, "It's my grandmother. She says it's my grandmother Stoner." Anne smiled at how excited the woman had become. "Großmutter, bist du es wirklich?"
"Charlotte, ich bin von weitem hier gekommen, dich zu sehen."
"Großmutter, kann ich dir glauben? In English, commanded Dr. Stevens. Speak to one another in English so we can all understand.
I will try, but it is not my language.
We understand that, the doctor said, but if you really are from spirit, you can speak to us in any language you choose. We are all Americans here. Here, we speak English.
Here we speak English. All right, so I too will speak English.
Charlotte had tears streaming down her face. Es ist unmöglich. Mein Gott! Mrs. Wiedener, I must ask that you speak only in English, said the doctor. I said it is impossible that my grandmother Stoner should be here in America. My grandmother was my favorite person when I was in Germany, when I was growing up.
And now look at you, all big and a woman, and here in America. It has been such a long time.
Yes, grandmother, such a long time. Laurency looked at Dr. Stevens, her eyes still closed.
I do not like this. I do not like this apartness that I feel. I will do something. Yeah?
Anything you choose, he said. She spoke in German one more time.
Good.
Giving Charlotte a little wink. They heard a sound, and a rush of warm air came down the center of the circle. Anne screamed, and Lucy half rose in her seat. Laurency's chair was empty. An old woman sat in the 6 o'clock chair, sat there firmly holding hands with Charlie and Frank.
Enough! Take apart the hands.
Gladly, the boys released her old hands, unable to understand how they were holding them in the first place. The old woman rose from the chair and walked over to Charlotte.
I want to embrace my granddaughter. It has been much too long since the last time.
Charlotte started to rise. The old woman ordered Frank and Henry.
Undo the hands. Let her get up.
Charlotte rose unsteadily, reached out, and embraced the woman, her hands feeling a strong body and her fingers touching the coarse, dark shawl her grandmother always wore. Even the lace cap on her gray head was exactly as Charlotte remembered it. Grandmother, how good it is to hold you again. I missed you terribly when I went away.
We missed you too, very much. Your mother was unhappy for months after, but she got used to the idea that you were never coming back.
And Mother! Oh, how is Mother? Is she with you?
She is over here, but she cannot talk with you. She needs more time. She is pig-headed like you. She needs to see more things before she makes up her mind.
The link of hands broken, Anne touched Dr. Stevens on his arm. Where is Laurency? What happened to her? He shook his head. I don't know. This is most strange. Charlotte's body was still shaking with the joy and grief she felt at holding her grandmother again. Are you all right? Over there?
Of course. And so is little Helmut.
Helmut! Oh, my brother Helmut. He's dead. Oh no. Helmut is dead.
Years ago, from a stupid battle in a stupid war. It was quick, though. He didn't suffer. He helped bring your mother across. It was easier for her with him there.
Dr. Stevens spoke to the apparition. What have you done with Laurency?
With who?
With Laurency. She's the channel you used to come through. Where did she go? The woman shrugged her shoulders.
How do I know? Somewhere, I suppose.
I think she should come back now, the doctor said. She is not in the best health.
I am not finished with my granddaughter. For too many years we have not seen each other.
I think you should go and allow the girl to return. What you are doing is not good for her.
What I am doing? I am doing nothing.
Please go, Anne said. Let the girl come back. Yes, Colonel Peters said. It would be the best for everyone.
Everybody but me and Charlotte, yeah?
She gave her granddaughter one more embrace.
A kiss for you.
And then in German,
Wir sehen uns auf der anderen Seite.
Which means,
We'll see you on the other side. Goodbye, Grandma.
the old woman sat down in the 6 o'clock chair. The same rush of air was heard, and Larancy appeared back in her seat. "Everyone!" the doctor commanded. "Join hands quickly!" They reached out for each other in the semi-darkness. Dr. Stevens grabbed the girl's right hand as Asa grabbed her left.
I'm all right.
She opened her eyes and smiled at the group.
Really, everything is fine.
"Are you sure?"
Yes, Ma, I told you. This won't be like the last time. I know what I'm doing, but there is one more thing that must be done. Lucy, are you ready?
"Ready for what, child?"
Ready to follow instructions when they are given to you? They may come awfully fast.
"I'm ready. You can count on me," the African woman replied.
What is about to happen is something they want to happen. I have known about this for several days now. It was confirmed yesterday. Do not blame me for it afterward, please. I have no control in the matter, and do not blame Larancy when she returns. It is their plans and their doings. They tried to have things happen differently, but it didn't work out that way. This is the only way left to them.
She looked at Anne.
Please, Ma, don't blame me, and don't blame Larancy. Don't you either, Mayor Peters. We, Larancy and I, are only being used as instruments.
"What's this all about? Blame you for what?" the mayor asked.
You'll see. That's all I can tell you now, but when it's over, you'll see.
Her body began to shake. She closed her eyes.
All right, they're ready to begin.
Henry Alter thought he felt something move against his trouser leg, but when he looked, there was nothing there. Anne sensed a movement behind her. She wanted to turn around but didn't dare. Larancy moaned and one of the oil lamps went out. Heads turned to stare at it, but there was nothing to be seen. Charlie felt something blow past the back of his neck. Just the idea of it gave him goosebumps. He looked quickly past the empty 6 o'clock chair toward Frank, but his brother must not have felt anything, for he was staring at Larancy. The second oil lamp flickered and plunged that side of the room in darkness. "Oh my," Minerva said. "Amen," Charlie added. Again Larancy moaned, but this time it was deeper, almost an imprisoned sob. Anne looked anxiously at the girl. It was difficult to see her face, with the 2 lamps out. "Is she all right?" she whispered to Dr. Stevens. "I think so," he answered. That was when the 3rd lamp went out. Charlotte screamed at finding herself in the dark, and Colonel Peters asked, "Is this really necessary?" A harsh, strangled cry came from the 12 o'clock chair, from Larancy's chair.
They have come! They're here!
There was a brilliant flash of light, like lightning across an August sky. Everyone instinctively shut their eyes at the unexpected glare and pulled back. "Keep your hands joined! Don't break the circle!" the doctor commanded. The flash came again, illuminating the farthest corners of the room. Charlotte screamed as Charlie and Frank gasped. They gasped because there was someone sitting on the number 6 chair.
Now, join me under the porch light, the place where memories meet the present and voices from the past still linger in the dark. Tonight, we listen, not to the pages from a book, but to the people who have felt the unexplained and found the courage to share it. Welcome to Porchlight Whispers.
Hey everyone, I am with a true Wilmington native, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I have lived in Wilmington my entire life. I've lived away for about 6 years. However, I came back in town recently. But yeah, I've been here my entire life. Different parts of Wilmington have always been a part of my life.
Awesome. I just moved here 8 years ago. I'm glad to connect with you because we are working on the musical Aladdin Jr. One night before a rehearsal, a couple of us were talking about some haunted things that have happened in Wilmington. So, Sarah, where in this town are you convinced is haunted, first of all?
Quite a few places, but honestly, there's 3 places that really come to mind. Bellamy Mansion, downtown on Market Street, and then Oakdale Cemetery. I believe I had mentioned that to you. Really beautiful historic cemetery, but 1000% haunted. And then there's this other place, the USO building down on Orange Street. It originally was a USO building for veterans to go in there and dance, and then eventually it transitioned into a stage. And so a lot of Thalian's like children's theater, they practice there, which is where I got introduced to it. It's interesting because it has a lot of different people there. A lot of different spirits come in and out of the USO. So it's kind of a neat little place that you wouldn't think that's haunted, but it is.
So you've been in shows there?
Mm-hmm. It's unique. It really is. It's like a nice little stage. It fits a ton of people in there, but it's definitely historic, which is where all the fun comes from.
Yeah. So you said you and your family have had experiences. Please tell us some of those.
Well, I guess I can start with the USO since that's kind of what we were just talking about. The USO is home to so many different things. Back in 2012, there was a gentleman that worked there, and unfortunately, he passed away per some violence that was in the parking lot. Around this time, all of the spirits and what my mom describes is it seemed like the house was loud. So the walls were vibrating, the people were there, and she vividly remembers being outside at her car, and she turns around and she sees an apparition standing in the window, and she was dressed in like 40s-ish clothing, and it was maybe a day or two after he had passed away, and what my mom believes is she was there watching her, making sure that she was safe. During this time, a lot of other things had started to happen. There is a lady down there that you can hear her walking. And I remember that me and my best friend were down there just doing who knows what. And all of a sudden we heard the clicks of the heels. Both of us jumped, terrified. And we absolutely ran. And I remember right before I left, I heard the door that was in the end of the stairs just slam shut. I would be downstairs and I would hear my mom distinctly say my name. Turn around, she's nowhere around me. Upstairs, same thing was happening with my mom, but vice versa. She heard me calling her name. And there's so many other stories too that people that have worked there have told us that they've heard full on like conversations and parties happening in the room. And another little story that I actually didn't know about until earlier when I was talking to my mom about it, she was in the bathroom and she said she was just sitting there and all of a sudden she heard a kid come in and I was there for a rehearsal. And she was like, I saw the kid, he had on tiny little shoes and socks up to his knees, they were striped. And she was like, and suddenly he starts pulling on the bathroom door. And she's like, okay, hold on, like I'm coming, does it again. And she was like, okay, well there's other stalls in here, like go somewhere else. And after she opened the door, no person there, not a single kid. She even looked around at rehearsal afterwards. No kid was wearing that. There's a ton of spirits there, and it's very lively, and especially around that man's death, they were loud and proud. Pivoting to more downtown, Bellamy Mansion. My cousin worked at Bellamy Mansion. He swore up and down that place was unhaunted. I mean, he would go to his grave telling you that. He's wrong. And the reason I say he's wrong is because multiple different times have I had experiences. And my first real experience in there, I was walking around and there is a widow's walk. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking up there and I was like standing up in the widow's walk looking around and my mom was there with me, but she hadn't come up at this time. I remember standing there and all of a sudden I started getting a little chilly and I felt the hairs on the back of my neck go up. And I was like, this is really weird. And I remember going, hey mom, are you standing behind me? And she was like, no. And I said, well, someone is. From the history that I know of the place, the lady of the house would often go up into the widow's walk to be able to look for her husband coming home because you can see the river perfectly from up there. My scariest moment there was this room, and this room is actually completely shut off now. I have photos on my phone of where it's used as storage. But I remember going into this room and it was relatively empty. We were looking at the fireplace. It was me, my mom, and my grandmother. And there was this area that kind of looked like warped boards, almost like maybe rain had been on it or just old boards. Mm-hmm. The rest of the room was fine, but this one space. So me being a kid, I'm like, I'm gonna walk over here. And all I truly remember was standing there and then going into almost what felt like a trance. I don't remember hearing anything. I don't remember seeing anything. I just remember being there and just standing there. And from what I remember afterwards is I remember having my mom grab me and just pull me. But from what they tell me is when they turned around, my eyes had gone black. It was one of those situations where they're like, what the heck is happening right now? Like, this is crazy. Nothing ever happened after that. There were no pictures or anything, but it was one of those sensations that I just remember being in a trance, almost like someone was trying to come through me or was trying to do something nefarious with me. I wish there was a photo. And I know that's crazy to say, right? But I wish there was a photo just so I could see it.
Yeah, and your mind sometimes needs that visual reference to truly believe. Because, I mean, it's a true statement. It's hard to believe something if you haven't seen it.
Exactly.
So you're hearing about something that happened to you personally. Mm-hmm. Did it feel like you missed any time, or you were in your body the whole time?
I almost don't even remember being in my body. Like, you're disassociating, and like you're just gone. And I don't remember hearing anything. I don't remember seeing anything. I just remember walking over there for some reason and just standing there. And all of a sudden, I remember my mom's pulling me out and she said, your eyes just went black. We need to get out of here now.
Is there any part of you that curiously wants to go back to that spot?
Yes. That kind of leads into the other little thing at Oakdale. When I was younger, I really thought that I could channel people. Me and my mom, like, we would talk a lot about it. I mean, we would always, I remember sitting at like parks and stuff and like trying to speak to each other without actually speaking, like with our brains. And it would always work. And so I remember being out at Oakdale, and Oakdale, it's just this beautiful historic graveyard. And I mean, it's stunning. There's so many different pieces to it and so much history to it. We were walking out there with a couple, it was my friend, my mom, and my grandmother, and we were walking around, and I wandered off on my own because I'm a kid, why not? And I remember walking over to a grave, and I remember looking at it and just kind of staring at it, probably thought to myself, oh, this is a really young kid, so young to pass away. And from what I was told, because I don't fully remember it, because it was another one of those instances where I went in a trance. They found me sitting crisscross on top of the grave, rocking back and forth, going, where's my mommy and daddy? Where's my mommy and daddy? From that point, my mom had like grabbed me. She was like, oh, here we go again. Let's get her out of here. And I do remember turning around and running back and thinking, I have to get back there. I have to go back. We went out there recently, and you can feel that there's energy out there. You can walk around and you're like, yeah, there's something here. Come to find out that the grave I was sitting on was a little girl's grave. And it was someone that was young. And it was somebody that probably, lost their parents and couldn't find them, and they wanted to so badly. And I remember being in the car on the way home. I was still kind of in a daze, but I remember driving down, and there was like this area that I was just looking at. And I was like, man, like I recognize that area. Like, I don't know why I recognize it, but I feel like I recognize it. Honestly, Wilmington itself, yeah, like it's haunted.
I don't know. It feels like a special place that accumulates a lot of energy. And in our case, we get to work with a lot of talent that accumulates here too randomly.
It's everywhere. I feel like everywhere you go, there's going to be somebody there, whether they're strong enough to be able to like pull through or someone's open enough to be able to have them come through. Wilmington can be spooky. Like, really spooky.
Yeah. Well, what I always leave off with on Porchlight is everybody pay attention.
That was this week's edition of Porchlight Whispers. Do you have an experience of your own to tell? We want to hear your stories. Share your experience and let your small town whispers become part of ours.
And with that, the porchlight dims, but the whispers stay with us. Join us again next time when another voice steps into the light.